All right. Hello. Okay, so I want to show you this on the screen. So Bill Clinton is saying hello. Okay. I'm honored. But yeah, that's hilarious. Thank you. So I didn't announce today's broadcast, and I'm sorry. I have the live setup. Um, my mom is visiting, and I wanted, typically I would send her the link and she'd watch on her device, but today she's here, and I just put the YouTube stream so she can see it in the other room, and I can hear myself in the other room, so it's distracting. But anyway, so happy you're here. I don't anticipate many of you being here, but wanted to at least show up. And 2020, we're at the beginning of December, and hard to believe the year is coming to an end. And I don't know about you, but I don't always get caught up in the resolution thing, but the end of the year is always a reason for me to just pause and think about what it is I want to do. And I really do, I'm conflicted. I Hitched Away is something that's been a part of me for a while. Is my one of my bona fide says, it's not new to you, Deb, it's true to you. So I went back and looked through all of my notes, and this is something I've been working and tweaking for a while, but just second guessing myself. And I wonder how many other people go through this second guessing thing. I know I waste time trying to be a perfectionist, trying to get it just right. And in the meantime, time is going by. And here we are in December, and I'm so far behind all the things I thought the things I wanted to do and just haven't done. But my goal at Hitched Away is to, yeah, I'll be honest with you, was to have 10 destination weddings on the books for next year. I also want to build my relationships with some of the smaller hotels. So the Caribbean is the location I specialize in, but I wonder if I wonder if I'm restricting myself by doing that, because what happens a lot of times is you want a niche, you want to specialize, and the Caribbean makes absolute sense for what I do. And I think it's a great destination for clients, for couples who are bringing guests to their wedding, to the Caribbean. And my goal, selfish or one-sided as it may seem, is that the hope is that folks will be invited to a destination wedding. They'll visit the Caribbean maybe for the first time, or maybe a specific island for the first time, and then want to return. So my goal has always been to get the eyes on the Caribbean, because there is more than just the big all-inclusive resorts, which is what makes sense for a destination wedding with people. But there's just so much more to discover and to learn about the Caribbean. Also, one of my other goals, what do they call it? BHG, big, hairy, audacious goal. BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. Come on, Deb. Is to work with companies that are folks that want to invest in the Caribbean in some way. So planning weddings is just a part of this. I mean, when you're doing a destination wedding, a lot of time the resort, come on, Debbie, I'm not doing this right way. The resort handles the planning. So I don't do a whole lot of planning, to be fair. But what I have in place are a lot of systems and processes. So when someone reaches out to me, there's a process of what happens to get them on a consultation call. Following the call, there's a process to hopefully get them, if we agree to work together, to send them the invoice, to send them the contract. Then there's a process to get them to ask them the right questions, and then there's a process for me to research and find the right island, they're in the right resort. And then there's the process to get the room block set up. So it's all of these processes that are in place. And if I'm honest, the processes and the logistics really make my heart sing. I get such a thrill from doing that. So always I'm wondering, if I can apply that in some other way to what I'm doing. So Hitched Away is a passion, but it also is a jumping off point, because I believe this can take me some other places. And because I spend so much time going back and forth and trying to make up my mind about that, I'm just wasting time. a lot of things that should be in place are not, because I can't make up my mind if that makes sense to go in that direction. And then I try to be a perfectionist, and being a perfectionist is killing the buzz. You know what I mean? So I say all that to say, my goal for 2025 is just to is not to take so long to make a decision. Forget about for everything being perfect and just so, and just looking at everything as an experiment. Let me see if this is going to work without losing who I am and what it is that I'm doing. So I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's kind of where my head is. Destination weddings, again, make sense in the Caribbean, but maybe you want to get married in the US. Why not? Getting used to, if you're in the DC area, which is where I am, and you choose to get married in wine country in California, that's a destination wedding. I can help with that. I haven't promoted that. Folks want to get married in Europe. I can help with that. I haven't promoted that. So all of those things are kind of whirling around in my mind. And I need to get on board and figure something out. This week, in a matter of days, actually, I'm going to Mexico by invitation of one of the travel suppliers, and it's focused on destination weddings. And although Mexico hasn't really been a place that I promote, it's very popular for weddings. So it makes sense for me to be there. But more importantly, the reason I'm going is because a lot of the suppliers, a lot of the hotels that have resorts in the Caribbean will be there, and I'll get to meet them one-on-one. So that will help me hopefully push forward. So don't want to ramble on and on. And, typically when we're here for the Q&A, it's just that. It's for me to answer your questions. But I just wanted you to to be my accountability partner as to what it is I'm trying to accomplish for 2025. God gives me life for 2025. Let's see. I'm just looking here. We got a few people on Instagram. Oh, Mrs. CEO Lava. Is that Shay? I think that might be Shay. Not sure. Happy to see you here. So today I'm streaming live on Facebook. So facebook.com/HitchedAway. If you'd like to join in the conversation, feel free to hop over there. I'm also on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/HitchedAway. And that's another thing I've got to really work on. Oh, and I'm on the Instagram live on my cell phone. So I'm kind of looking down and up at you here. Social media, the bane of my existence. Can I be honest? I hate Instagram. I hate being on Instagram. Am I allowed to say that? And I know for wedding business that I need to be on Instagram because that's where my clients are, supposedly. I hate it. But maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. Maybe it needs to be just like what I'm doing now and just being more of myself on Instagram, and that will help. But it's not something I try, and I absolutely hate it. Facebook, I'm more in line with, and YouTube, I stream live because that's another place for the eyes to be, but trying to wrap my head around social media. But part of me says, just get someone to do that. But I want it to be authentic. I want it to be me. That's the only way I know how to be. So anyway, those are some of the things that I'm struggling with, if I'm to be honest. But I really do enjoy talking to folks, engaging with people. I've always been loyal to Sandals and Beaches. That's the resort chain that has been really, that I embrace because of their standards. The standards are very high and they deliver. I know that when guests go to Sandals, they're going to come back happy. No question about that. But I have yet to really go down the path with other resorts to see if that's truly the case. I've explored some other resorts, and when I see what it is, when I'm comparing, because I'm comparing them to Sandals, it just doesn't add up. I went to one resort in Mexico. The resort shall remain nameless, and was for a South Asian wedding setup. And I remember going to the gym. It was a horrible smell in there. It just was damp and humid. The food was just, I could not in good conscience send my clients there. Maybe popular for a destination wedding, but I've seen it firsthand. Maybe I would have done better if I'd never seen the place firsthand. But having been there, just don't want to send clients there. So I'm always Sandals has set the bar really high, and I'm always using sandals as the goal for me. Does it meet that threshold? But I don't know if that's limiting the clients I'm getting. I'm okay with that, because I would hate to send someone there and be thinking, gosh, I hope it's going to be okay, and I hope they're going to enjoy it. I hope there will be no complaints. So that's where I am. I tell you, one social media platform that I really am enjoying, or think I haven't really made my mark there, is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is for professionals. I know a lot of my clients fall into that category. So I am embracing LinkedIn. It's the one platform that just seems normal to me. But again, that's me getting in my own way and restricting and limiting myself. I think when you're a business owner, you kind of have to kind of get out of your own way, right? And do things that may not seem like the right thing, but you got to give it its best effort. I think about places where I go and buy. I'll give you a case in point. When I go to buy beauty products, the person behind the counter very rarely looks like me. Very, very rarely. And I know the store owner does not look like me, but this person is providing the products that I need. So somehow they figured out a way to do that, even though their clients don't look like who they are, right? So maybe that's the same thing I got to do in my business, is kind of just get past that and do things that make sense for the business, but also make sense for my clients, even though it feels or makes me feel slightly uncomfortable. Anyway, if you have any questions, please let me know. If you concur, if you disagree, any suggestions. I am really trying to work with a lot of the smaller boutique hotels, family-run hotels in the Caribbean, just to see how they're doing their weddings and see if we can somehow work together. So if there are any suggestions you have, please let me know. As I said, I'm going to Mexico this week coming. I think I'll probably go live a few times to show a few of the spots that are there. I'll be in Tulum if you're interested. So follow me on Instagram, HitchedAway on Instagram and on Facebook. I don't know if I'll stream live to YouTube, but it would be really great to hear your feedback. I do feed off of your energy. So there you go. All right. Any questions? Let's see. Let me just say hello to Mrs. CEO Lover. Hi to Cute Court. Good to see you here. And I appreciate you joining me. And Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton is here, everyone. I'm just showing him on the screen. I guess you guys can't see on Instagram. But Bill Clinton has joined. Hi, Bill. Good to see you. Miss you. But that's it. Okay. All right. I think I just wanted to show up today. Normally we run for about 30 minutes, but I haven't been a responsible leader today. I haven't promoted. I haven't notified anyone that I'm going live, but just a few of you are here and I appreciate that. But I really want to work on some topics. If there's anything that you want to hear or want to learn about, I'm happy to share. What do you think? I mean, my specialty is the Caribbean. Should I here's the thing. For my clients, I want to focus on the Caribbean, but on this platform here, when I meet with you on Sundays, I want to talk about anything related to destination weddings, and not just destination weddings in the traditional sense. For example, this week, day before yesterday, I officiated a wedding at someone's home. So I became ordained 2003, I think. And this may not be news to anyone. A lot of people can get ordained. But what I did was let me give you another example. I had created a format and packages and what to do when someone reaches out, and you do this next, and then this is the ceremony, this is the questions I have to ask, these are the things I need to make sure I have, a microphone and things like that, and did the wedding on a few days ago. But in my mind, that falls under the purview of a destination wedding. It wasn't traditional with air quotes. It wasn't in a house of worship. It was a small, intimate setting in someone's home. And by all accounts and the feedback, it was great. The folks enjoyed it, if they were being legit. I had a great time because I got to customize the ceremony to the couple, and it went off without a hitch. Oh, wow, there's a pun. Did you see that? But it went off really well. So that falls under the purview of HitchedAway. Someone who wants a small, intimate wedding off the beaten path, maybe not in the traditional sense. So all those are things I've got to kind of roll into what I'm doing with HitchedAway. So there we go. All right. I think that's all I have to share for today. Again, I keep saying it when I'm heading out to these places, offsite. I have a tendency to, I have a tendency to, I record, I have tons of footage, video, photos. And when I visit places, when I go to Jamaica, when I went to the Bahamas, when I went to Harbor Island, and I'm not sharing it, what is my problem? So that's what I need to do, is so that you are aware of all of the options that are out there. And it's not just weddings. If you are a couple and you want to get married, you want to retie the knot, or you want to celebrate your anniversary, or you got married and you didn't have your honeymoon and you want to have your honeymoon now, I can help with that. But unless I tell you, you don't know. So these are things I've got to really work on for 2025. And again, any suggestions you have, I welcome them. All right. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap things up. I'm waving down to my folks on Instagram. I'm like an idiot. And if you have any questions, last call again. If you're on YouTube or on Facebook, please post them in the comments. Bill Clinton keeps saying hello. Hi, Bill Clinton. And each time he does that, each time I show him on there. Wouldn't it be great if it really was? I tell you. But thank you for being here. I'll see you next week, God willing, on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. If you would like a heads up, like a note when I'm going live, please, hold on, let's get this right here. Please sign up for my email list. I'm saying please like I'm begging. The best way to get a heads up when I'm going to go live, and just any other not to be missed information, is to go to HitchedAway.com/VIP. HitchedAway.com/VIP. Just enter your name and your email, and I'll let you know what's going on, especially when I'm traveling, to let you know what's happening. And of course, if you're following on social media, assuming that I pay attention to social media, I'll update you there too. But it would be great to have you in the inbox, because the email, I'm definitely paying attention to that. Okay, so HitchedAway.com/VIP. Okay, I appreciate you being here. I really, really do. I hope this week is going to be a good one for you. I hope December is going to be fabulous for you for the rest of this year. And hopefully I have some positive and strong information and helpful information to share with you next year. Next week. In the comments on Facebook, please, or even on YouTube, I'd love to know what your plans are, what your goals are for 2025. What are your struggles? How are you planning to deal with the struggle? If you're an entrepreneur, I definitely want to hear what you're doing and how you're moving forward. How are you going to be, how are you holding, what are you doing to make sure that you're being held accountable? Because a lot of times we say things, but if no one's there to check us, we kind of let it just go. So when I say I'm here on Sundays at 3, I have forced, that's my accountability partner, right? I show up on Sundays at 3 because I've said so. And if I'm saying it and not showing up, then yeah, I'm not a woman of my word, and that's not good. So I'm curious, let me know what you're struggling with. What are your plans? What are your goals for 2025, either as an individual, as an entrepreneur? And how are you going to make sure that how are you going to be accountable for those plans and those goals of yours? I'm doing my best here with you. So without you even knowing, you have become my accountability partner, but just curious. So feel free to share that, or I encourage you to share that in the comments on Facebook, facebook.com/HitchedAway, under this post, which will post live in a few moments. I always get tongue-tied with social media, and on YouTube. All right. Thanks again for joining me. I'm Debbie from HitchedAway. If you or someone you know is planning a wedding or is thinking of a destination wedding, I'd love to help you, even if it's they're not sure, even if they're having a wedding here and just want some insight on finding the right spot for their honeymoon. I'd love to help with that also. Please get in touch. The website is HitchedAway.com/call, and you can book a call, and just talking to me doesn't cost a thing. All right. Thanks again for being here. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.